Wait, honey, can you look at this?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right, hello, hello everybody. I hope that you guys can hear me. So, can somebody just please say yes or no in the chat if you can hear me, just so that I know that everything is okay. All right, I see a lot of people in the chat today, which is nice as usual. Very nice. So hello guys, hello everybody. Everything looks, Ayub says yes, everybody says yes, so I think you guys can hear me, which is great. All right, so let's see, who do we have? So Patricia is here. Welcome, Patricia. And Ayub and Jacqueline and Judith. And we have Paolo. We also have Jose. JB says, I am not late. No, JB, you made it on time. Very well. Very well done. Rosa is also here. Hello, Rosa. Very good to see you. Garima is also back this week. Vivian is here. Hello, Vivian. Welcome, welcome to the class. So, yeah, lots of the usual suspects, and I think there's maybe one or two new faces, which is kind of nice. I would like to have see the class notes. Judith. All right, so Judith is saying, I paid for the streaming and subscribe for your class after Neil is not working anymore in Spokane. I would like to have some PW or a code to see the class notes. Thanks, Judith. All right, so I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Judith. I don't have a private sort of subscription thing. If you're talking about the subscription on the channel that says subscribe $5, that's not really a subscription for anything. It's more of like support, right? So even in the description of my video below, you see that I usually write that you don't have to do this, right? This is 100% optional. This is just if you like the streamer and you want to show a little bit of, you know, hey, thank you, I appreciate what you're doing. So you do that $5 thing, but I don't ask for it, and I don't really, I don't try to get anybody to do that if you don't want to or if you can't, right? It's this class is totally free. But yeah, the $5 is just, it's sort of like a thank you thing, right? So, I thank you. I appreciate very much that that you clicked on that. But I don't really have any sort of codes or links or anything like that to offer. So I apologize if you thought something wrong, but we tried to make it as clear as possible in the description. And Judith is saying thank you for your answer. You're very, very welcome, right? You're very welcome, and I appreciate it. Thank you for trying to subscribe. All right, so everybody's here. Very well. All right, so let's begin. So let's do the usual introduction. So hello, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very, very much for coming to another class on this Wednesday, which is, let me check, I think today is the 27th. Yes, so it's Wednesday, the 27th of September, 2017, and believe it or not, it is a nice sunny day in Vancouver, here in British Columbia, Canada, which is kind of nice these days because winter is slowly starting to creep up. So my name is Karim. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. I'm a teacher here at Canadian College of English Language in Vancouver. I've been teaching for about 5 years now here, almost 6 years, and I've been using Smrt ever since I started working here. I'm also teaching at the Canadian College at the moment, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's who I am, and I actually have a cool announcement for everyone today. So I don't know if you guys know or not, but we are getting a new streamer, which is nice. So let me just minimize myself here. So I think I go. Oh, where did I go? I disappeared. Wait a second. There you go. I'm back again. All right. So if you guys can see, we are going to have a new streamer. Yay! Which is awesome. JB says yes, he saw that, which is great. Thank you for staying up to date on what's happening with Smrt, JB. We like that very much. It makes us feel warm and fuzzy inside. So thank you for that. But yeah, so if you guys don't know, we are going to have a new streamer on Smrt, and his class, as you can see, is in 5 days. So I think that's going to be next Tuesday, right? So it should be on. A lot of people are excited that we're having a new streamer in the chat, which is good, because yeah, lately it's pretty much been just me. Sean is here. It's just that Sean is busy, right? So according to him, he should be back sometime, I think next week or the week after that. But yeah, pretty much it's just been me for a while. So it's nice to have a new streamer. So next Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. and that is of course Vancouver time, right? So I don't know what the times are in your countries. So just make sure that it's 1:30 p.m. Vancouver time, and Vancouver, Canada, right? Because I think there's a Vancouver somewhere else in the United States. So excuse me. So make sure that it's Vancouver, Canada time. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I actually don't even, I don't know who the new streamer is. I haven't seen him yet. So this picture, this mysterious picture is also interesting for me, right? So I haven't seen him yet. So yeah, it should be exciting stuff next week. Patricia said it's the 3rd of October. Yes, it's scheduled for the 3rd of October, right? So right there. And let me see. So I'll take this. Actually, I'm going to type it in the comment section below. Not in the comment, in the chat. So I'm going to give you guys the link for this page, so you know where it is or where to go next Tuesday when it's time. Great. A lot of people are excited. Many people are like, "Yay, we're going to join this," which is cool. Now, besides that, we have been also doing a few interesting things here in Smrt. So if you guys, this is my channel, right? So don't forget to subscribe to my channel over there, because our numbers are slowly going up, but Sean is still ahead, and that we want to get Sean. Come on, guys, let's get Sean's subscribers. I want to surpass Sean. So so tell your friends, share with your friends, and tell them to subscribe. Come on, I just want to beat Sean, right? And then I'll be happy. I'll be happy after that. So yeah, so this is my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell so you can get notifications. Now, the other cool thing that we are doing is we started this new channel that is called 60-Second English. And it's a little bit different than the normal Smrt streams that we do. So usually our videos are about an hour or an hour and a half. Sometimes I think the longest video I did was an hour and 40-something minutes. So this is very different, right? These are all very short 60-second videos. That's why it's called English in 60 seconds, where we explain sort of just simple, very quick, right, points in English that we can explain in 60 seconds. So so if you haven't checked it out before, you can go and check it out over there. And so yeah, we try to upload as often as we can. JB says, I'm disappointed that you guys created separate channels. I think it's better if your streams were all under the Smrt banner. Well, I guess we will find out, right? We're always trying to see, right, what's the best sort of thing that we can offer for everyone out there. But we are still under the, like you said, under the Smrt banner, right? So our channels are actually connected to Smrt, right? And through Smrt, we have our separate channels. So it's not completely separate. We're still actually under Smrt. We're linked to them. But yeah, so we'll see. Maybe in the future, we might decide to go back if we find out that it's not working so well. But, you know, we're trying new things. So that's English in 60 seconds, and you guys can just search for it, or you can look at my channel, and you'll find it in the subscriptions on the side. Don't forget also, you can follow me on my Facebook. So my Facebook is Karim Smrt Live. Julian fixed it after last week. We made fun that it's the only one that doesn't have the word smart in it. So Karim Smrt Live on my Facebook. Same thing on the Instagram. You can find me over there, Karim Smrt Live, which is right there. That's my Instagram. And if you guys want to connect with me on Twitter, same thing. It's called at Karim Smrt Live, right? It's all over there. The last thing is my other YouTube channel that's up here on YouTube, and it's not connected or related to English so much. It's this is my channel. It's called Food AF, and basically it's a cooking channel. So if you guys like food, or you like cooking, or you like to eat like the rest of us, you can go and check out my my cooking channel, right? So I try my best to put out a video every week, and I try to cook some interesting and unique things, right? So go check it out over there. It's not English, but you can practice listening because I talk in English. So you can check that out over there. Garima said he tried my corn recipe. Awesome. That makes me happy when somebody tries the food that I put out there. Okay, so after the introduction, let's get to what we are doing this week. So this week, let me just check everything here is okay. All right. All right, so we are, this is from Smrt English 120, which is the intermediate level here in Smrt. So sort of intermediate, lower intermediate, somewhere around that range. And we're continuing with another grammar lesson this week. And we are going to be talking about the present passive, right? Or the passive voice, right? Some people call it the passive voice, or some people call it the passive sentence. So that's so that's what we're doing. So let's begin. Okay, so we are going to talk about the passive use, right? So just to start, let's talk about the use. So in grammar, we say the person or the thing that does the action is called the agent of the verb, right? So the person in your sentence, right? The person or the thing, right? That is doing the action, we call that the agent of the verb, right? That means the person that is doing the verb in your sentence, right? A lot of people also commonly call it the subject, right? So the person that is doing the action in your sentence. So for example, if I say, the man is playing the guitar. The man is playing the guitar. So the man is the agent in this sentence, right? Or some people will also say the subject in this sentence. And very simply, all that means, or what we mean by the subject or the agent, is who is the person or what is the thing that is doing the action in your sentence, right? So in this case, the verb, of course, is play. And who is doing this verb? It's the man. And that man is the agent, right? So this is what we call an agent, or this is what we call a subject. Same thing in these two other examples. It says, birds fly in the sky. Birds fly in the sky, right? So the verb fly, who's doing this verb in this sentence? Birds, right? So the birds, again, they are our agent. Those shoes cost a lot of money. All are the same, right? These style of sentences where the subject or the agent, they are doing the verb in the sentence, we call these kinds of sentences usually active, right? But that's not what we're doing today. Today we're going to be focusing on the passive, right? So the active, think of it as the opposite of a passive sentence. So these are examples of active sentences. Now, in grammar, it says here, in grammar, when we put the agent, right, or the subject, that means the person that is doing the verb, right? Don't forget that because that is important. Garima says the doer of the action. Yes, the person that does the action in a sentence, right? So in grammar, when we put the subject or when we put the agent in the position of the subject of the sentence, it is called an active voice, right? So this is exactly what I just explained to you guys right now. So, right? So all these sentences up here that we read, these are examples of active sentences, right? Or some people explain it by calling it the active voice. JB says Garima likes food, and JB is trying to be it's trying to be an overachiever, and he's giving me the answer for the passive. Yes, that's very good. But yes, Garima likes food, right? That is also an excellent example, JB, of an active sentence. So in grammar, one more time, when we put the agent into position of the subject of the sentence, we call it an active voice, right? The passive voice is used when we change the focus, right? The focus means what? Means what's really important that I'm trying to tell you in this sentence that I'm telling you, right? What's the purpose, right? What's the focus? What am I really, what do I care about that you understand, right? So the passive voice is used when we change the focus of the sentence from the agent to the object, right? So one more time. So if I look at this sentence, the man is playing the guitar, right? My focus here, right, is on the subject. My focus is to tell you who is playing the guitar. It's the man playing the guitar, right? So that's my focus. But if I want to write a passive sentence, my focus is not going to be on the subject anymore. It's not going to be on the agent. I'm going to move my focus to the object, right? And to do this, we put the object in the position of the subject of the sentence, right? We put the object in the position of the subject instead. So let's take a look at examples, right? I personally prefer examples, right? Instead of talking about a lot of rules and words, and you get confused in the middle, right? So let's take a look at an example. I'm just, what are you guys writing? So JB's saying, oh, we're focusing on the agent for this lesson. Not exactly, JB. That was just an introduction, just to make people understand what's going on. We're actually going to be talking about the passive, right? But yeah, to talk about the passive, you have to talk about the active too, right? So let's take a look at an example here. Hopefully it'll make things much, much clearer. So an active example of a sentence: a substitute teacher is teaching my students, right? So this is the trick, right? So let's take a look at the verb teaching here, right? So teaching, who is doing the verb in the sentence? A substitute teacher is teaching my students. Are the students doing the verb? No, they're not, right? They're receiving the verb because they're the object, right? That's what an object is, right? An object in a sentence is the person or the thing that is receiving the verb, right? The action. The verb or the action is happening to it, right? They're not doing it. So who is doing the who's doing the action in this sentence? A substitute teacher, right? So that is an active sentence. Now let's see what we mean when I say I want to switch the focus, right? So instead of focusing on the agent, or instead of focusing on the subject, now we're going to focus on the object. So let's take a look at that. So it says, my students are being taught by a substitute teacher. Now, if you notice, when I say my students are being taught, right, I had to change this here. And why? Because the students are not doing anything, right? They're not doing the verb. So it's not an active sentence. The students are receiving the action. The students are being taught, right? They're receiving the verb of being taught by the substitute teacher. And that's basically what a passive sentence is, right? So instead of focusing on who is the subject and what are they doing, you focus on the object and what is happening to them, right? I hope that that is clear. Judith says, Facebook, it seems, might not be giving us enough FaceTime. I'm not sure what you mean, Judith. I don't know if that's an example or are you asking a question? It's not very clear. Patricia's asking, in the passive voice, is by always used? Yes and no. So by, yes, by is usually always used if you want to say who did the action, then you have to say by blah, 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 right? But if you don't need or you don't have to tell me who, right, then you don't really need to say the by, right? You can stop just at the beginning. And you're going to see that today in the lesson, right? We're going to talk about it. Okay, so we use passive. So let's find out some reasons why would we use the passive voice. So here we go. We use the passive when the agent, remember who's the agent? The agent is the subject, right? That means the person that is doing the verb in your sentence. So we use the passive when the agent is unknown. That could be one reason. Maybe I don't know who did the verb in the sentence, right? So I can't really tell you, right? So there's no way for me to make an active sentence because I'm missing the agent, right? If I don't know who did it, it doesn't make sense to say an active sentence. So this would be a good chance or a good opportunity, or this is when we need to use the passive. Another is, for example, if the agent is not important. That's not important means what? Means that's not the focus of what I'm trying to tell you, right? The main point, the reason why I told you the sentence is not to tell you who did it, but just to tell you what happened, right? So not important. It's not really necessary to tell you who the agent is. No, always. Oh, all right. You guys are asking and answering each other. That's cool. As long as it's correct, I'm fine with that. Um, the third reason. So remember now, why are we using the passive? One reason is maybe I don't know who did the action, right? I don't know who the agent or who the subject is. Another reason is it's not important, like I said, right? That's not really what I want you to know, or it's not important to tell you. I just want to tell you what happened. The third reason is it's not clear, right? Maybe I'm not sure, right? Maybe it's not very clear to me who did the action. Or if it's people in general, right? That means when it's obvious, right? When it's very clear that somebody did this, right? And it doesn't matter who that somebody is, right? So often, and this part answers your question, Patricia, is do we always need to say by, right? So often the agent is not stated. So that means it's very common sometimes when we use passive sentences, we don't have to tell you who the agent is. And if I don't tell you, then I don't need to use by. So actually, let's take a look at the sentence that we already used. So my students are being taught by a substitute teacher. If I stopped after taught, right, my students are being taught. That's it, right? So in this case, I don't have to tell you who did it, right? Or maybe it's obvious, it's clear that it's by a teacher. So that's an example where you would not need to use by. Okay. So let's carry on. Let's see some examples now, right? So remember, why do we use the passive? Because the agent is a mystery. We don't know who did it. It's not important. It's very clear. Everybody can easily understand who it is. Or it's people in general, right? So here we go. Let's take a look at some pictures. So Patricia says, for example, my car was stolen. Yes, that is a very good example. Exactly. Very good, Patricia. All right, so let's see. So let's take a look at some examples and let's break them down and see what's going on over here, right? So this girl, she looks sad. She's sitting on the floor. Her hands are on her face is on her hands. And she says, my lunch is stolen. Oh my God, every day. That's so sad. Every day. Such a depressing example. But yeah, right? So sadly, these things happen sometimes. So my lunch is stolen every day. So in this scenario, in this example, right, in this situation, the agent is unknown. She doesn't know who steals her lunch, but she knows what happens, right? So she's just telling us what happens. In this case, she can't tell us who did it because she doesn't know, right? The agent is unknown. So she would say something like this, right? My lunch is stolen every day. Or just like the example that you wrote, Patricia, which was very good, my car was stolen, right? You don't know who stole your car, so there's no way for you to tell me, right? So that's why that's an example, or that's a reason why we might use the passive voice. All right, let's take a look at another example. It says over here, the road is being repaired. The road is being repaired. Maybe it's not important, right? It's obvious that whoever's repairing the road is somebody that his job is to do that, right? Or probably the government, right? Or somebody from the government or your local town area or whatever it is. The point is that's not my focus of the sentence. So for example, let's say you are, let's imagine you are driving. Let's say you're driving and you're coming to visit me, right? So you're a little bit late and I call you on the phone and I ask you, hey, where are you? Why are you late, right? And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm driving on blah, 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 and the road is being repaired, right? That's a normal conversation. That's all I need to know. I'm just asking you, why are you late? So you told me because the road is being repaired. I don't care who is repairing it, right? That's not important for me to know. And it's also not important for you to tell me, right? You don't have to tell me who is repairing the road. The important part or the important information that you want to tell me is, this is why I'm late, because the road is being repaired. It's not important by who, right? It doesn't matter. Well, Paulo is saying something interesting. So Paulo is saying, in Patricia's example, Patricia says my car was stolen, and Paulo is saying because it is clear Who stole your car? Who stole, Paolo, right? Your car. The only person that can steal your car is a thief. I hope to help. Well, I guess that's another way of looking at it, right? It's if you want to think of it this way, right? Who stole your car is a thief, so it's very clear. Or you can also say, because I don't know who stole my car, right? It's yes, it's a thief, but I don't know who it is, right? So both of them work really, right? It's still the same. It's still the same at the end of the day, right? If it's a thief, then okay, fine, it's clear. Or if it's somebody that is completely unknown, it doesn't matter because both of them are reasons why we use the passive, right? So it depends on your point of view. All right, so I hope the second example was clear, right? So it was not necessary for me to know why you were late, right? Or not why, I mean, it was not necessary for me to know who was fixing the road, right? That caused you to be late. I just wanted to know why you were late. Okay, let's carry on. Well, there you go. I think they found the guy who stole your car, Patricia. Let's see. All right, everybody's saying understand. That's good. All right, so this one, again, the thief was arrested. The thief was arrested. Now, if I want a full sentence, I would say the thief was arrested by the police, right? The thief was arrested by the police. But, again, in this example, I would say in this example, it's clear, right? Because the only people who are allowed, right? The only people who can, the only people who have the ability to arrest is the police, basically, right? I mean, I don't know anybody else who can arrest you in a country, right? So, or at least in most countries that you go to, right? Usually, the people who are allowed, or the only people who can do things like do arrests, are the police, right? So in this case, it's very clear, right? There's no need to say by the police. Paulo's saying, sorry for the mistakes, I hate verbs. No problems, Paulo, as long as you know why, right? If you knew that it was a mistake and why, I'm okay with that. You can make as many mistakes as you want. That's how we learn. All right, next example. What does it say? It says paint can be bought at the hardware store. Paint can be bought at the hardware store. So this is a general statement, right? This is you're stating, or you're talking about a fact, right? Or something that is obvious, or something that many people can, right, do. So paint can be bought at the hardware store. Again, if I want to make it a complete sentence, I would say by people, right? Or by anyone. So the agent, all people in general who want paint. So this one is clear, right? If I say somebody can buy something somewhere, right? It's obvious that I'm talking about anybody, right? Or people in general, customers, right? Whoever wants to go and pay for it. So in this case, again, it's pretty clear, right, that I'm talking about people in general. So there's no need to say that. There's no need to say people can be bought at the hardware, or sorry, paint, people. Imagine if you can go, imagine if you can go to the to the hardware store and buy people. Oh man. Well, there was a point in time where this was actually something that you could do, right? But yeah, thankfully, no more. So paint, right? Paint, not people. Paint can be bought at the hardware store, and that's it, right? You do not need to say by people. Judith says, my dishwasher was repaired. Yes, that's a good sentence, right? So again, imagine, right? If I want to say the complete sentence, probably I would say something, my dishwasher was repaired by the repairman, or by the employee from company X, or by my dad, or my boyfriend, or my girlfriend, or whatever it is that you want to say. But yes, that's a good example, right? My dishwasher was repaired. Michael says, salt is used to improve the taste of food. Yeah, good. All right, let's carry on. Hello? Whoa, what happened there? Something, the screen was frozen for a second. Is it, I think it's working. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, right? So very quick recap, one more time, the reasons, right? Why would we use the passive voice? Because the agent, remember the agent is the subject. The agent is the person that is doing the verb in your sentence. So what are the reasons why I would use the passive? The agent is unknown, I don't know who did it, or it's not important, it doesn't really matter to tell you, right? It's not a necessary piece of information in the sentence. Or it's very clear, right? The listener or the person that you are talking to or the person who's reading what you're writing, it's very easy for them to understand who did the verb, right? And then the last thing is people in general, right? Like the example of buying something from the store. So these are the reasons. All right, now let's take a look at the form. Let's take a look at the form, you guys. So the form is pretty simple. It's your present simple passive, right? So the present simple passive is just the verb to be and your past participle, right? So that's it, your past participle, right? So the verb to be plus your past participle. Oh, Rosa says, sorry, Karim, I better go. My connection is jumping all the time. I'm going to watch it later. Bye, everyone. Oh, so sorry to hear that, Rosa. But yeah, no worries. You can always watch. You can always watch the video later. I hope you have a good day, or good evening, or good night, because I don't know what's the time over there right now. But thank you very much for dropping by. All right. So the form, right? So as we said, present simple passive is the verb to be plus your past participle. So we're going to look at the active version of the sentence, and then we are going to look at its passive version, right? So many people love Jack. Many people love Jack. So in this sentence, the verb love, who is doing it? People, right? Many people. So if I want to switch it, right, that means I have to focus now on the person that is not doing the action. So my focus now is going to be Jack, right? Instead of the people, it's going to be Jack. So to make it into a passive, you would say Jack is loved by many people, right? Jack is loved by many people. And of course, as you can see, by many people is optional, right? You don't really have to say it, but you can. All right, another example. They don't need money to get into the club. They don't need money to get into the club. So let's look at the passive version. The passive version will be money isn't needed to get into the club, right? Money isn't needed to get into the club. So this is very similar to, I think, Michael's sentence, salt is used to improve the taste of food, right? So very similar to that, very good. Money isn't needed to get into the club. Companies make pasta in Italy. Companies make pasta in Italy, right? So who is doing the action here? Companies, right? So now I want to focus on the object, right? So I'll switch the object now, and I will say pasta is made in Italy. Pasta is made in Italy. Now, of course, so to answer your question, right, I think, was it Rosa that answered, but she left. So anyway, if you're watching this later, Rosa, this is also to answer your question, right? We don't always, remember I said yes and no and not sometimes, right? So not always, you don't always have to say by, right? So pasta is made in Italy, and that's it. You can just stop there. Like I said, if you want the full version, then yes, right? You'll say by people. But if you notice, we did not say by people here because, like we said, right? It's very clear, right? Obviously, people are making the pasta, not I don't know, not a bunch of monkeys, right, in a kitchen somewhere. So it's very clear that we're talking about people. All right, let's carry on. Do people read the newspaper very often? Do people read the newspaper very often? Again, to switch it to a passive, it will be, is the newspaper read very often? Is the newspaper read very often? You hug me every day. I am hugged every day. The police protect us. we are protected by the police, right? Okay, so far, remember, we've been talking about the present simple in the passive voice, right? Present simple in the passive. JB is doing a very good job of correcting small grammar mistakes in the chat. Thanks, JB. Awesome, very good. Okay. Now let's look at the continuous, right? So we talked about the present simple passive. Let's look at the present continuous passive, right? And the present continuous passive form is very simple. It's the verb to be, right? Plus be, ing, right? And then your past participle, right? So be, the verb to be, of course, in its correct form, and then being, right? And then your past participle. So for example, he is using the stove. He is using the stove. Patricia says we can use the passive voice in the negative. Yes, you definitely can use it in the negative. No problems whatsoever, right? There's no special rules or anything. You just make it negative by adding not. So let's look at the continuous now. So he is using the stove. He is using the stove. The stove is being used, right, by him, right? And of course, if you don't need to say the by him, then you don't have to say it. But just remember, in the continuous, we need the being, right? You have to say the verb to be and then being. So he is using the stove becomes the stove is being used by him. She is making dinner for us. She is making dinner for us. Dinner is being made. Dinner is being made for us. Yes, very good. And JB is writing all the negative versions of the sentences that we're talking about now, which is excellent. Thank you, JB. You're doing a fantastic job, man. All right, let's carry on. So, are they signing? Are they signing a lease? Right? A lease is like a contract usually that you get when you rent a place or something like that. So, are they signing a lease? Is a lease being signed? Right? Is a lease being signed? They aren't talking about you. You aren't being talked about. I'm watching the children. The children are being, again, right? The children are being watched. They aren't painting the living room. They are not painting the living room. The living room is not being painted, right? So I hope you can see we have two negative examples here. Jacqueline, was it Jacqueline that was asking? Or Patricia, sorry, Patricia. So yeah, you can definitely use it in the negative sense. And that, you guys, is basically pretty much it, right? So this is the lesson for today. It's pretty quick and to the point, which was nice. So let's do a very, very quick recap before I get you guys to do some exercises, and before we do the movie quotes. I forgot about the movie quotes. We should do the movie quotes. So I'll just do a recap, and I'll talk about last week's movie quote, and then we'll do the exercises, and then I'll give you this week's movie quote. All right? So here we go. Very quick recap on what we talked about today. So we were talking about the passive voice, right? Remember, it's very important to know what the word agent means, right? Or the subject, the person that is doing the action in a verb. So in a normal sentence like this, which you guys know or you guys are used to already, the man is playing the guitar, right? So the man is your agent. He is the subject. He is the person that is doing the action in the sentence. Now, if I want to do the passive, instead of talking about the subject and what the subject is doing, you change your focus to the object, right? And as an example, we said a substitute teacher is teaching my students. If I want to make it into a passive, it becomes my students are being taught by a substitute teacher. Now, what are the reasons? Why would it be necessary or useful sometimes to use the passive voice? Well, because sometimes I don't know who did the action. Sometimes it's unknown to me, right? If I say, for example, I went yesterday to the store and the store was closed. I don't know who closed the store, right? I don't know the person who closed it in this case, so I would say somebody closed the store or the store was closed. We use passive when the agent is unknown or if it's not important, right? Remember, like in the example over here, when we talked about the road being repaired and I told you you're going somewhere and you're telling them, why are you late? Because the road is being repaired. It's not really important to say by who in this situation. Or it's very clear. That means it's easy to understand who is the subject, right? Like the example of the thief was arrested, right? Only the police can arrest, so it's clear. Or if it's people in general, right? If the subject is usually, or it's clear that it's people in general, like the example of buying something from the store, right? Paint can be bought at the hardware store. Who can buy the paint? Obviously, people, anybody, right? So this is what we mean by that. All right, the form, just so you don't forget, is your present simple. For the present simple passive, is you need the verb to be and then your past participle. And if you're talking about the continuous, then you need the verb to be and then you have to put being, right? So B-E-I-N-G, being, and then your past participle at the end. And that's pretty much the lesson today. So let's see what is going on in the chat. I think everybody's okay, right? I'm not being watched very good. Dinner is not being made for us. Yes, yes, yes. The world weather condition is being changed by people who live on it, live in it, and being changed. Yes, very good, JB. Yes, that's a correct correction. Very well done. JB is right, Judith. Okay, so let's do the movie quotes. So last week, you guys, I gave you a quote from one of my favorite movies, of course, and it was a classic, right? So this was the quote. The quote was, "I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse." And of course, most of you guys guessed this correctly, right? It's a very famous movie, or at least in my generation, right? You can sort of that's a good hint to how old I am. Yeah, the movie, of course, is The Godfather, one of the classic mafia movies of all time. The Godfather, of course, with Marlon Brando, and the quote was said by Marlon Brando in that movie. And yeah, it's just a classic, right? So 1972, this movie came out. I'm not that old, but yeah, it's a classic movie that everybody loves. So yeah, I recommend that you guys watch it, The Godfather. So that was last week's quote, and of course, all the usual suspects answered this correctly. So I think Julian answered this, Patricia answered it, Jacqueline answered it. Please forgive me if I forget who else answered it, but I think, yeah, about 7 or 8 people answered this correctly. So very well done, you guys. And yeah, if you stay till the end of the lesson today, I'll give you the movie quote for this week. Okay, so let's get you guys to do some exercises. So let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, okay, let's start with this exercise. So before we start, you guys, just take a note or make a note. Write these 5 words because these are the words you need to answer the exercise, right? So I'll give you 10 seconds. Make sure you write these words somewhere or you remember them if you have an excellent memory. So make, cut, paint, fix, and play, right? So make, cut, paint, fix, and play. So very simply, describe what is happening in each of the photos and use each verb in the table once, right? So you can only use each verb once. So the first one is already done as an example. So we have a picture of these 2 guys and they're washing or cleaning the windows or whatever. And it starts with windows, right? So obviously we're gonna use wash. So windows are being washed, right? And remember we said they are being, right? Because it's happening right now, right? This is why we use the continuous. So so that's it. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds here. All right, so I'll give you a few seconds for grass and coffee. This should not take too much time because it's only 2, and I'll be back super quick. Let me do my magic disappearing act here. Just give me a second, and whoosh, yeah. Okay, we are back. And of course, you guys are doing fantastic, as usual. As usual. All right, so let's see what you guys did. So the first picture is grass, and you can see this. So we call this a lawn mower, right? A lawn mower. And basically what it does is it cuts grass, right? So a lot of you answered this. So some of you said a different tense, but most of you said the grass is being with an ing, right? Grass is being cut. Grass is being cut. Grass is being cut. Grass is being cut. And that is correct, right? So if you said the grass is being cut, right? This is the answer that we wanted, right? So the grass is being cut, and the reason for that is it's happening right now, right? You can see in the picture that it's happening right now, and that's why we're using the continuous form. So yes, the grass is being cut. Very well done. For the second one, coffee, a lot of you said coffee is being made. Coffee is being made. Coffee is being made. So yeah, Jacqueline, Paolo, Patricia, Judith, Jose, Ayub, everybody again got this very right, which is not shocking anymore to me. You guys are doing very, very good. So coffee is being made, right? And that is the answer that you wanted. So that was pretty easy, right? All you guys did a pretty good job. Let's do one more, even though I really don't think you need it that much, but just to double check that there are absolutely no mistakes anymore, right? So I'll give you a couple of minutes. Remember the same words that we were using up there, right? So you need to use make, cut, paint, fix, or play. You already used cut and made. So the next three, I will be back. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Still? Still? Can you guys, how's the sound now? Yes! Very good. See, we don't need the technical guy. Oh man. But no, but seriously, I have no idea, no idea why the sound did that. I didn't do anything unusual. But we fixed it. Yes. See, I don't have to call Julian every time something happens. I can fix it. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this. So music is being played, right? Most of you said this very correctly. Music is being played. A house. So a lot of you said a house is being painted. A house is being painted. A house is being painted. And again, you guys are correct because you can see that it's being painted right now, right? So these guys are standing there, and sorry, excuse me. And they are painting the house right now, right? So the house is being painted. And for the car, a lot of you also, I think, or most of you actually, or all of you, I think all of you answered this one correctly. So where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Car is being fixed. Car is being fixed. Yes, all of you got this one again correct, right? The car is being fixed, right? So very well done, you guys. Really, really good job. There's another exercise here that I wanted to do, but I don't know. We wasted a lot of time fixing that sound problem. But anyway, let's do just two more, right? That of a different exercise, and then I'll let you guys go. So number 3 says change the sentences from the active to the passive voice, right? So you are going to get some active sentences, and all you have to do is write the passive version, right? Or the passive, write them in the passive voice. Okay, I'll give you guys a few minutes. Let's just do these 3, and that'll be it for today. Yes, I'm back. Now I'm scared. I'm scared to turn off the sound, but no, I'm gonna do it because if it happens again, I want to know why it did that. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, and I'll be back, hopefully with no sound problems. 1, 2, boom. Okay, and we are back. So you can hear me, right? I, I hope you guys can hear me. I don't want to have to go through that again. Okay, can somebody? Yes, you can hear me. Excellent. Okay, so we print photos from this computer. All of you, let's see what you guys did. The photos are painted. I think you want to say printed, Ayub, not painted. So photos are being printed. The photos are. The ceiling is being. Where are we? Where are we? Where else did you guys answer? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, the people who answered this one got it all correctly. So we print photos from this computer, or you can when you change it to the passive, it becomes photos are printed from this computer, right? Very good. Somebody is painting the ceiling. Somebody is painting the ceiling, and let's see what you guys did. A lot of you said the ceiling is being painted. Ceiling is being painted between brackets by someone. The ceiling is being painted. So yes, Ayub, Paolo, Patricia, Garima, JB, of course, and everyone. Yes, very well done, you guys. So somebody is painting the ceiling. The passive voice is the ceiling is being painted, right? And of course, you don't really have to say by whom unless maybe the person wants to know, right? But yeah, you guys are right. Is someone using this chair? So it's a bit of a tricky one, this question one. So let's see what you guys did. Is this chair being used? Garima, very good. Is this chair being used? Is this chair being used? Yes, Paulo, Garima, Ayub, JB. Yeah, you guys did it very well. As usual, you guys are you guys did a fantastic job, and just like every week, you deserve a high five. Whoopsh. Good job, you guys. Very, very, very happy with that. You guys all got it, and everybody answered everything perfectly. So super excited about that. Okay, now. So yeah, so that's it. That's the lesson for this week. Remember, don't forget, next week on Tuesday we have a new streamer. So be here for that. Check him out. It's going to be at 1:30, right? So this is October 3rd at 1:30 p.m. What's it called? Vancouver time, right? So make sure that you check in to see who the new streamer is. And I promise, I really don't know who the streamer is, right? I haven't seen him. I have no idea. So so don't ask me. I don't know. I'm going to find out with you guys on Tuesday. Okay, and of course, please let's surpass Sean, right? And his subscribe number. So please don't forget to subscribe to the Karim Smrt or Smart English with Karim YouTube page, which is this one right here. If you already have, thank you so much. If you haven't, tell your friends and your family and the cool people that you know. Garima says, we have, oh, thank you, Garima. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. You too, Ayub. You guys are very, very welcome. It's my pleasure to be here. I have a lot of fun doing this with you guys. Don't forget also we have the new 60-second English channel. You can go and get small bits of information about English that is very short, right? So 60-second videos. And of course, my food channel, right? You can go and check out me cooking and talking sometimes about things that are related to food and some nerdy things, right? That I like to talk about. So if you like food and you like to eat, please go subscribe to my Food AF channel. So it's called Food AF. And you guys can find me there. All right, so let's do the quote of the week, and I will let you guys go. So let's see. So this was last week's quote. So good job for the people who guessed who or what that movie was. Let me close. I think you know what, you guys. I think there's a problem with the computer today, or the internet or something. I don't know what's going on. Everything feels weird. It's like slow. It's a little bit slow. So yeah, can I do it? There we go. Delete. Why does it say view only? I see. That's because I am this person. So let's make it that person. Oh, Michael says I tried your corn recipe and it's great. Woohoo! That makes me happy. Awesome. Very nice. Oh, by the way, there's a new episode coming out tomorrow, you guys. So check it out. And it's something very weird and unique that I used to eat when I was a child, right? So I don't know if I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. So stay tuned for tomorrow's cooking show. It should be interesting. All right. So this week's quote is this. And this quote is also from one of my favorite movies. So remember, if you know what the movie is that this quote is going to be from, don't tell me in the chat, the live chat right now, because after I close it, I can't see the chat anymore, right? So if you want to answer, please answer in the comment section down below, and I will see your answer, right? So yeah, so here we go. All right, so I'll try to act this out. And then you guys can write in the comment section what movie this is from, right? So here we go. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he did not exist. And like that, he's gone. All right, so yeah, if you guys know what movie this is from, please hit me up in the comment section below, and that has been it. So thank you, everyone. A lot of people are saying bye in the chat now and whatnot. Ooh, Patricia says the cloud eggs were delicious. Awesome. If, by the way, if you guys cook any of the food that I do on Food AF, please take pictures, right? Take pictures and put it on my Facebook. I would love to see the pictures of the food that you guys cook. A lot of people saying thank you. You guys are all super welcome. This is it's my pleasure to be here, and I really enjoy it. And thank you for giving me your time to come and actually spend it with me, right? And the things that I do here. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right, so I'll keep it short. So thank you again, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. And until I see you, good morning, good evening, and a good night.